And a deadly battle for dominance in another family leaves an orphan on his own. As the park that's become a refuge for the most vulnerable faces financial ruin.
So I would hate nothing more than to see this place go and the animals in it. It's my life and soul.
The private wildlife sanctuary, dubbed the Kingdom of the White Lion, covers almost 7 square kilometers. It's home to leopards, hyenas, and lions. One of the largest and most impressive prides in the park is dubbed the Big Kings. The family is headed by 4 males, 2 tawny lions, Rafiki and Siam, and 2 white lions, Alex and Kaiser. But they are growing restless. White lion Kaiser is challenging the other males for dominance. Kevin fears one of them might get hurt, so he's stepping in as peacemaker.
Little big boy. The little big boy.
As soon as he reached sexual maturity, everything changed. And he just became interested in one thing, and that was the woman. He's just taken it upon himself to be dominant over them all the time, and he gets extremely aggressive and unpredictable. And this results in extreme fighting between him and the other lions in this group.
One lioness in particular is the object of Kaiser's affection. Already battling to pay the bills, Kevin can't afford any new cubs to house and feed. Females are given contraceptive implants. But males still retain their natural mating instincts. Unable to satisfy these natural urges can make them tense and frustrated. Kaiser needs a new home before his frustrations lead to violence.
It's only a matter of time before we land up with someone or some lion being killed in this group, or exorbitant vet bills, because the lion's got half his face hanging off. And that's the reason why we're going to have to move him on.
All of Kevin's 38 lions have been bred in captivity. 7 of them are rare white lions, identical to their tawny relatives except for their coloring. But keeping so many big predators is expensive.
To run a park of this nature, you are looking in the region of around about $15,000 to $20,000 a month. And that's just maintenance, anti-poaching patrols, staff, keeping the electric fences clean. You got your little magic pliers. You know, feeding the lions, watering the lions, making sure they've got proper veterinary health care. They've been de-ticked. Vehicles, petrol, fetching food. It's a big job. People don't realize what a mammoth job it is, taking on, looking after a lot of lions, you know, not just one lion. It's, you know, a lot of mouths to feed.
Kevin helped to set up the park as a giant film set for a movie about a white lion. It was his job to look after all the animals on set. Once the film crew packed up and left, the lions stayed, joined by other cats and animals from another reserve, creating a new park, the Kingdom of the White Lion. It's hoped that profits from the film will pay to establish the park. Managing the reserve is a full-time job that includes caring for animals from the time they're born. There's a nursery for cubs, like these young lions, the last to arrive before all of the lionesses in the park were implanted with contraceptives.
Yeah, your tongue is rough. So this area over here is known as the nursery area, where all the orphaned or abandoned youngsters come. And in this particular case, we have two lions that are not related, Mfumo and Vayetsi, about 10 months of age. And these little hyenas were also abandoned. So they all land up here in the nursery area where they can get the care and the love and the attention that they need.
The two lion cubs are growing up fast. They'll need more space and the chance to mix with adults to develop social skills needed to thrive in a pride. Incorporating the youngsters into a pride will be difficult. Newcomers are often rejected or attacked. Their easy life in the nursery is about to come to an abrupt end. Such care costs money, around £12,000 a month. Kevin and his backers need the white lion film that was shot here to make money. Profits are desperately needed to pay for running costs and the transformation of the reserve into a zoo for paying visitors. If the cash they need doesn't start to flow in, the park and its inhabitants face an uncertain future.
Bandit, you're heavy, my buddy.
If the film, you know, for whatever reason now doesn't get out there, the consequences are that the park might have to shut down, and we might be having to find homes for 37 lions, 20-odd hyena, and the rest of the, you know, the animals that live here. Well, it would be all for naught, my life's work, if that happened. And yeah, I can't even begin to imagine that. So
what do you think?
Having started a family of their own, Kevin and his wife Mandy have gambled everything on the success of the White Lion project. They hope baby Tyler will one day inherit a thriving business built on conservation.
Behind the scenes, obviously running a park of this magnitude, and it's a constant worry for us, because if we don't find the income and keep things going, then what happens to the animals, which is obviously, Kevin, my #1 priority.
On top of financial worries, managing big cats in confined spaces is a full-time job. In the wild, there's plenty of space to roam, but in an enclosure, family feuds can erupt into deadly fights.
That ear's ringing.
In one pride, 3 young lions are approaching the age when, in the wild, they would leave to form a pride of their own. They're starting to clash with their father. They'll have to be moved before one of them is seriously hurt. Kevin decides to relocate them to a new enclosure, together with 3 other young lions. Having hand-raised and spent intimate time with all of his big cats, Kevin has a good insight into which of them should get along together. But in this case, there's an added complication.
I'll tickle you to death. I'm gonna tickle you
A hyena that thinks it's a lion. Spunny, the hyena, has grown up with 3 of the young lions from the time he was born. Lions and hyenas are usually considered to be arch rivals that will attack each other at any opportunity. But Spunny has developed feline behaviors that would make him an outsider among other hyenas. He'll stay in the pride where he's long been accepted as an honorary lion.
With the lions, actually, he lives a pretty cool life. He's one of the pride. They live a very lazy life. They're both very social animals. Best of mates, in fact. Let's go.
But 3 newcomers are joining the gang. It remains to be seen how they'll interact with a pride member that looks suspiciously like a hyena.
We're going to release them today, see how it goes today, especially with spunnies, the hyena. And depending how it goes by 2 o'clock, 2 o'clock's the feeding time. If it's all going well, we'll feed them together. If we suspect that it's a little bit awkward and things aren't going so well, then we'll maybe remove them and take them back.
Experienced keeper Rodney Nombakana is the only other person allowed to handle animals in the reserve. Young lions are notoriously unpredictable. As the two groups meet and establish a hierarchy, nervous tension can easily turn to aggression.
When they fight like that, and I mean, it makes a lot of noise, and to a human being it seems very scary. But to lions with their thick skin and all of that, just a wah, 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 they immediately are showing who's more dominant than the next.
One group lays low, while the other 3 lions and Spunny the hyena look to Kevin for reassurance.
So at the moment, we're in a bit of a apartheid situation, where we've got this group, including Spunnies. Spunnies is on the periphery, and myself, and the 3 newcomers, and it's